I mean, that's kind of a good way to start it.
You serious?
I'll lead with that. Welcome to 94, everybody. Y'all know what was coming. The last episode was pregame for the Midwest Open. Um, Coming in strong with a post game. I kind of wish we would have done this last weekend and just sat on the episode instead while the event was clearing my mind. What's up, Daniel?
Yes, living day by day, being disappointed in this center 50 fashion of being little, not, I wouldn't say unprepared, but technical difficulties.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be real. I'm unprepared. I didn't
Well,
get
I
to
thought I
watch
was
this
prepared.
event as much as I have like the last 10 events.
Mm,
I had a busy weekend, so I didn't get to do anything. I worked Thursday and Friday. I did listen to a little bit of Friday, but it seemed like every time I had a chance to listen, I was like mid break, like in the event. So
oh,
I
yeah.
was going down the road listening to the same like 3 or 4 ads that they played back to back,
Oh,
and
the carbon ads all the time.
yeah. So and then by the time the games did come back on, I was busy. So I caught a little bit. Saturday we had some family time. Um, I watched probably 2 or 3 matches Saturday, and then Sunday I was able to watch a little more than the rest of the week.
I got to watch a good chunk of it. It's just that so much has happened since the event. Like it's kind of a blur, essentially.
Yeah, that's why. Before we got on, I was jotting some stuff down because I really, like I said, if we would have talked about it last week, we could have gone forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had a bunch of things that I know for a fact I wanted to touch on, and I was sitting here writing my list tonight, and I'm just for the life of me can't remember what it is. But that's what we do here. Y'all should be used to this by now. This is how we operate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nothing really new.
yeah.
Everything's always in the works here, but at least it's going forward and not really backwards.
Yeah. So it's currently July 5th. So my neighbors are still popping fireworks. So
Same.
yes,
Can you
I
hear that?
no, I didn't hear that.
Ah,
I'm gonna tell you what. Though, when we did our test run earlier,
yeah.
you could hear my neighbors popping fireworks. They sound like gunshots. So,
I will,
so
and you're in Sumter, so it's kind of hard to
yeah,
be like, well, is it fireworks or is it
yeah.
gunshots?
So for our listeners, if y'all hear something popping off in the background, I'm pretty certain they're fireworks, but it could be gunshots. We don't know. I got my dog in here joining me because he's scared of the fireworks. He never comes back here. This is up. This room is upstairs, all the way at like the back of the hallway up here, and he never comes back here. What are you
Yeah,
doing?
describe it one more time so somebody can come raid your house and take your Proflex collection.
Yeah, there's nothing back there. You have to get through this mangy mutt to get there first, but yeah.
Let's
Anyways,
take some ham.
yeah, you don't even like him. Um, yeah. What's up? What's going on? What's new in your personal life?
One step closer.
I'm about to break.
I knew it was coming. One step closer to finishing my packet for this PCS, this move of duty station. Um, and the closer it gets, the shittier it feels. Not gonna lie, because all in all, I don't really want to sell this house because it's the first time I ever bought like a new house. Like I got to pick how it was built, and you know what I mean. Like
so,
it's
so
mine,
you're rich.
motherfucker. Yeah, shit. This was pre-COVID before the fucking housing market went. But anyway,
That's how I bought my
I
house.
I got to play last weekend or the weekend prior, whatever. It was super fucking hot as usual in the summer of down here in Savannah. But Dylan took some pictures, and I noticed, like, I could tell I'm getting out of my fundamentals. I could tell that I'm not playing. Like, I know that I'm not playing as much, but it's starting to show. And I'll send you a. I'm not posting this fucking picture on social media, but I'll send it to you, and it looks like, oh good god, like worse than when I was playing with that Ion at Liberty Paintball when he let us try it out. Not really like that. It's definitely the way I'm holding the gun, but I'm like, instead of like being like this, I'm like this.
Oh man,
Yeah, I was like,
straight
oh,
D6er.
God, man. Yep. But
That's gonna be a tough one for the listeners that aren't on the YouTube to imagine. But just complete noob gun stance. You know, just think
yeah,
about
not
that.
happy about it.
Just think about that.
And so that kind of got me in my feels a little bit because like, damn, I'm really letting like the fundamentals go. Like I'm letting my form go, and it's kind of getting me down a little bit because I'm every other day I'm taking like another step back from it. It kind of sucks because
Yeah.
I'm so used to like Jesus Christ, the past how many years being extremely competitive in this stuff.
Yeah.
And
do you think
trying
I
to
feel?
sharpen my game. Yeah, well, you never stuck it like I
No.
did. No, I kept so that part kind of sucks. But like I've been hitting the gym more, trying to get like my strength back, but I lost all flexibility like in my knees and my fucking back and stuff. Like that's getting constantly worse. But I've even gone to far as thinking possibly going into yoga for stretching and stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
But
whatever.
I got to do something, man, because like walking up the stairs of the house is just it's like a task in itself.
You
I'm
getting
starting
old.
to feel like I know, dude. I'm starting to feel like Oakley when he walks up and down the house. Like, he can't even get into bed anymore. He's so old and fat.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I feel your pain,
By
brother.
the time this episode drops, you are gonna be old. It's gonna be your birthday. So, happy birthday from future me. You're gonna be 45, dude. Oh my god.
Get the fuck out of here. I mean, you're not far from it, but fuck off.
Yeah. Bitch,
I'll be
you're
38.
You're older than me.
5 years.
Well, you old
But-
bastard.
I've been watching a lot of the chaos unfold again for the Birthstone Proflex. A lot of these companies and stores will have like just the bottoms that everybody was after,
Yeah.
and they're upcharged. I'm like, yeah, I'm not messing with that.
I did
Hey,
see
remember-
somebody had them for sale for like $45 for the bottoms, and I was like, that's not bad at all. And they sat on the site for like, I don't know, 45 minutes, and then they sold out, of course. But I was like, damn,
That's the way to go. But not like
I would have bought a set for
120
$45
bucks
for the bottoms.
for the bottoms. It was 120 bucks on the
No,
website. I
you
can't remember the
you a
website.
dumbass if you paid that too.
People did. But remember how I was trying to cancel my order for those clear Flex 8s?
Yeah.
I didn't get to it in time. It shipped like that. I was
Oh,
like,
man.
fuck, man.
That came out of nowhere. Like, I had no idea that was even a thing. And maybe I slept on that drop. Like, I appreciate you calling me for that, but I just wasn't feeling any hype on it. And there's a prototype of like an OG clear Flex 8 out there, and it's like very sought after. And when these dropped, I was just like, whatever. Like I didn't have any feelings towards them. So like I kind of wish I would have gotten one just to have it, you know. But excuse me, like I told you on the phone, I can do without.
Yeah.
I got hiccups.
What I find crazy is like these companies can't really advertise like for people that can see the video on YouTube. So I'm holding a Pro DNA Voltrax cleat. All
Me
right?
too.
So, you know, like when they go to do advertisement, they'll take the product and they'll turn it into just a silhouette. They'll black it out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, somebody went through the it's like the view is cleared, that post that they put like in all the buy sell trade posts on Facebook. Somebody went in and edited everything properly and brought it back to life. And before JT can actually release like what they look like, somebody was like, I got you, this is what it looks like, and it showed every step of the way on how to do that. And I'm like, well, great, now the companies know that if they drop something like that, but they want it to be like the mystery factor, like the surprise and all this other shit, that the consumers can go through and edit this crap and like basically spoil it or whatever.
There's
If
there's a super easy fix to that. Even if you want to do like a silhouette, like picture like they did, just fucking graphic 3D design or whatever, just a silhouette. You don't have to put a fucking black, thing over your actual product. You know what I mean? Just take. Like,
Maybe they did it on purpose.
maybe. Do you think JT really thought that far ahead? Like, yeah, some dude in his mom's basement is gonna unrender this Photoshop and expose what we have come. I mean, it was fucking plain as day when they talking about, oh, our vision is clear with a silhouette of a Flex 8. Like, that's, you couldn't have given that any more further away. But if you wanting to really build hype and you don't want somebody to uncover what you're trying to hype up, then just say you need just use the Flex 8 for example, right? All right, so we want to put a silhouette of the Flex 8. We're about to release these clear Flex 8s. Just go take a general blue one or gray one or whatever, and then when somebody uncovers it, they'll be like, "What is this? What is that? We already have this." And be like, "Aha, gotcha!" So
They're probably gonna do that next. Like,
they should.
Here you go.
They
Reverse
should.
clear Flex 8s.
Yeah, I was not expecting to see those, but dope. Yes, I'm not overhyped. Kind of like the Burstone stuff was. I see where they sold out on
It's one of
PB
those
Retro.
bottoms of the April ones, man. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked the whole mask. I wanted the whole mask with the white frame, and what I was probably gonna do was take the white frame off of my white Revo 2 and put on it. But my white Revo 2 is also completely unboxed, so I don't know if I would have done that. So
Oh well.
my black Revo 2 is right there. So chilling,
Oh, all my masks are getting down.
chilling.
Oh, I got the new. Oh, hold on one second. I got my mask up here. That the vintage ones.
Do 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 do.
Dude,
Do I have to put another break in like I did the last video?
No, that was fucking cold. But like they came with like the little glitter strap.
Oh yeah, the vintage ones. Yeah,
Yeah, the vintage. Glitter
those
strap.
I slept on. Like I have a little bit of like not buying them remorse.
See the nose?
Yeah.
It looks crinkled, but it's like more liquidy.
I saw where some people were having issues where GI was stuffing the mask bag under the bottoms and they were coming out all like misshaped and shit. Which on those is a super easy fix for a GI bottom. But still, you shouldn't have to worry about your brand new bottom coming. Like I saw some people post them, and I promise people we're gonna get to the event here shortly. I swear to God we are. But everybody's like, oh well, just fold them up and get some heat on them. Okay, yes, I understand that, but brand new mask, I'm paying. How much was that liquid? Like $180.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm paying you almost $200 for a mask, which is whatever. I should not have to fucking take them out of the box and reshape them. That's just.
Let's see if mine. 'Cause this is the first time I'm unboxing them. All right, ready? Let's
Oh,
see.
you seen it here first, people. Watch the fucking mask just disintegrate. Oh my God. That's not bad.
It's got a little bit of a warp.
It's a little like bent in, but that's not shit. No, I'm talking like these things were folded.
Well, I know, like they were like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
and like that.
That's a good
yeah.
looking mask. I kind of wish I would have got one now. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Damn.
I'll trade you my red thins for it. I'm just playing. You ain't getting my fucking thins.
Man, fuck you.
I'll let you use them. I don't care.
What do they fold them up like that? Let it sit.
Yeah. Some people let them sit in the sun for a little bit, and you can put them in hot water, but not boiling water. If you put them in boiling water, they'll just, just suck up.
Like, oh well, I got I got a gray nose.
I have a nice nose that you cannot skirt swap. So,
Damn.
yeah. I will say this, though. I'm so glad, and this is going to be my last point on the JT stuff for this episode. I'm so glad they're dropping shit like that instead of like
Oh, yes.
printed noses and stuff, and mainly the printed skirts. Oh my God. The blasters and the fucking, the one they did
Cash
with
money.
the one they did with the money was the worst one. Dude, oh my, there's our ranking episode right there. There's a ranking episode. I'm writing that down. That might not be the next ranking episode.
But that's going to be one
That's
of
going
them.
to be one. Ranking. Let me write it here. Ranking. I'm just going to say GI drops. Just because. Yeah. So, but what I was getting at is I'm glad, just take this for example. Now, I think the birthstones are kind of not cash grabby, but like you're really reaching. Does that make sense?
Well, but I mean, like, what do you expect a business to do, right?
I get it. I get it. But like
yeah.
it's just kind of, it's a little much.
Overkill?
Yeah, kind of. But positive note, a lot of the birthstones have been very well received by the community. The clears, the teals that they started with, I'm not counting the blue and red ice. The vintage like you just got, clear Flex 8s, the white Flex 8s. Like GI is dropping some pretty cool shit. So, everybody's like, oh, well, you still need the OG mold. I have my opinion on that in an earlier episode, which I'm unsure which one it is. But for them to be dropping shit that they are now versus what they were 2 or 3 years ago, it's a night and day difference. So,
Complete 180.
so
I
shout
still
out to
have
them.
my the smoke ice Proflex.
Yeah,
I still have those in the box on my shelf over here because Committed had the drop for the Black Rebel bottoms.
yeah,
Dude, you have to get this Black Rebel bottoms, but you also have to get this combo. Like that was the only way to get them. So I was like, oop, almost messed that up.
yeah.
Knocked my clipboard over. They're like, you have to get the smoke ice to get the Black Rebel bottoms. I said, fuck it. I like the frames on them, and maybe I can make like another sick build on it.
Yeah.
So
I
grabbed
wish
it anyway.
I wish they were more closer to like the old graphites from back in the day.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I was kind of hoping for, but oh
all right.
well.
Regardless,
Ready?
yeah, let's get into the Midwest Open. We're in Ohio, so we talked about that. Yeah, we talked about that, about location, and let's see, where was I at with here? Yeah, I didn't write nothing down about the location. Oh, right here. Location is great. Grass is amazing was what I said on the last episode. I heard on. Well, let me lead with this. So, did you see the before and after picture of the venue?
I saw on the pro field where it looked like you can just see like the professional dive spots and everything.
Yeah.
On the
So,
content.
the before was this nice green, luscious field of grass on the before, and then the after you can see all the routes that everybody was running and diving in and shit. And I heard from the, I was gonna say on the sidelines, from the sidelines where they were talking about just kind of like the damage that players do to just like ground surfaces. And might have been Ryan made the comment, was like, yeah, we're definitely not getting invited back there. And Hatch said that they talked to like some cops and shit that were doing security at the venue, and they were like, yeah,
Right.
we're so glad that y'all are using this space. Like nobody does shit here. Like it apparently was like across the street from like a soccer complex, or across the way from a soccer complex or something. And they were like, yeah, nobody ever uses this for anything. And so I have a feeling we'll be back in Ohio, and the choice was very well received throughout the community. I feel like, the pro.
It looked great on the webcast.
Yeah, a lot of the
Like
pros,
everything.
were all over it. With good words and shit to say about it. But and then another thing I picked up from that. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna shut this episode down. Y'all just go listen to their Midwest Open shit. But another thing I picked up on was, everybody knows it was like hot and hella humid for that event. And one of the locals or whatever might have been one of those cops they were talking to, was like, yeah, it's only been like this weekend. So it's like the weather gods just follow the NXL around, just fucking
Yep.
hot and rainy, hot and rainy, hot and rainy.
Jesus Christ, man. Can't catch a break.
Yeah. So, overall, the venue I feel like was very well received. We started the event off with a 3v3 format. What's your take on that?
I honestly didn't get a chance to watch any of that because I was still working. Because they dropped that on Thursday, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch any of that, and I didn't even bother like backtracking to watch it or anything. And I saw like Mark was blowing our has-beens chat up about basically giving us like update after update. You know,
Mark
God
is
bless
our
him for
boots
that.
on the ground. That's
For real, dude.
that's not actually on the ground. We probably should have had him in here tonight. Honestly, is it
Probably.
too late?
Um, I I keep hearing like positive things about the 3v3. I heard a lot of people were talking good about it, but for me, again, we say this a million times as a casual fan, right? I don't I don't care to watch 3v3. I don't care what the business. Me personally, I just don't care. The only way that I would want to go watch a 3v3 tournament if Landon or Everly gets into the sport and they go play, like, or if Jacob gets involved, you know, if our kids get involved,
Like a
and they,
beginners or lower divisions
yeah,
thing?
yeah, you know what I mean, like that. I would go watch that. But
I
like,
cannot believe I'm about to say this.
you enjoyed it, didn't you?
I agree with you.
Oh my god!
Play
You heard it
the
here first. You heard it here
play the air
first.
horn. Play the air horn for the haters.
Oh, where the hell did it go?
Oh
Oh,
man,
there
it's
you
too
go.
late now. Can't play it now.
Oh,
But I agree with you. I watched, and I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't remember who they were playing, but I watched one of the aftershock. I'm pretty sure it was aftershock 3v3s. I'm pretty sure I went back and watched it like Saturday. I watched one of the matches or something like that while I was trying to get Noah to sleep. So it looked fun. I enjoyed watching it, but because you and I, we're so used to watching 5v5. It just looked like two teams starting down two bodies. You know what I mean? There was no there was no field change that I was aware of. I feel like a 3v3, the field should be a little more condensed.
yeah.
If they did that, I wasn't aware of it.
They didn't.
And
They played it on the pro fields. To my
yeah,
knowledge, they just played it on the pro
I
field.
just I
Which I get. You know, venue space,
Oh
setting up
yeah.
more
I'm
webcasts to
not
play the
saying
other
well they
stuff.
should have done that, but I'm just like that. That was the fucking most terrible face I could have made when I said that. We're not doing video no more. But no, like I get it. And I'm gonna tell you what. Sorry, YouTube listeners. I'm gonna condense this down because I still don't have a dual screen. We're gonna make sure OBS is still recording. We're good, baby, and we're going back to full screen now because I would be pissed if we lost that recording. But one of these days I'll get a dual monitor set up and y'all won't have to watch that. But I get why they're doing it. Apparently ESPN has picked up a 3v3 thing going forward.
Hmm.
Oh my god, excuse me everybody. With maybe four teams, something like that. So they're trying to make it more digestible to outside viewers. And I get it and I respect it. But in the same sense, I've said this 20 times on this show. I don't think we should be looking to change the format for outside viewers. That's just my perspective. Now going from what I did like the change was for the finals, how they do two halves for the finals now.
Yeah,
It's a small
I like
change.
that.
It's a small change. It works. But now we're going, we're toying with the idea of 5v5, then 3v3 for outside viewers. And, maybe they're thinking faster points because less bodies to track, easier for the announcers to commentate. I get it. I understand it. But I also feel like we should just do a better job of selling our product. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
but
just what
like if
that's
you
just
think
what I
about
say.
it, yeah, like I agree. For the most part, I agree, but I think it's mainly them just doing trial and error. Because at the end of the day, let's be real here, the NXL is a business, right? So
Oh,
they're
no
going to do
doubt.
whatever they can. Yeah, so they're going to do whatever they can to expand that business. And if they're trying to appease all these like outsiders, then they're probably going to do it. I mean, this is obviously what they're doing now, but
Oh, no doubt.
it's a little discouraging for me because, like, let's be real here. Who's going to put money in the bank and who's going to invest in it? Is it going to be me and you? No, it's going to be the people coming into it like, oh, yeah, we could do this. And you like how we had our episode in the past about do we really want to grow the sport? If you want to hear us dive into that, go back on Spotify or just go back on our platforms
Apple
available.
Podcast.
All that stuff, and check that out. Pretty interesting conversation in that one. But I don't think for the long run, I don't think it's beneficial. I think it's good for some people to line their pockets, but I don't think it's good for the sport, to be honest with you. I really don't. Because honest, like, let's just be real here. If you're really trying to grow the sport and there's so many formulas that you can use for that, are you really actually trying to grow the sport, or are you just doing what's best for you and your business? Which I don't condone or condemn. I don't care what he does, honestly. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, it's his shit. But let's get back on track for the event.
So X Factor. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was like with the event and the location, like how we were talking about earlier. Great, and I think they should have. It's so hard to do because we dove into that kind of topic before too. I definitely think they should go back next year for the same location for Ohio.
No doubt, I think so too. So 3v3, like I said, I watched one of the matches, and it was just kind of like I went to Go Sports and drug the fucking timeline, whatever you want to call it, thing up a little bit, like mid match, because I didn't want to watch 500 of the Carbon ads.
Yeah.
And I started like after like 2 points of a match or whatever, and it was fine. I enjoyed watching it. You know, I'm not sitting here shitting on it. I just think that, and because I'm so stuck in my ways, I just think 5v5 is better than 3v3. I'm okay with 3v3s, but I don't think it should be the norm for professionals. But anyways, not to beat that dead horse, X Factor wins the 3v3. They beat Impact and take the win on that. So that's got to be a good feeling, you know. I did watch a couple of clips from that. You know, TJ Danner was playing great. Of course, you know, Billy Bernacchi was in there handling business. So, but also congratulations to Impact for making it, you know, to the finals on that as well. So, for, you know, top teams trying out new shit, playing an event on Thursday when other teams are, you know, you're still getting your reps on the layout and shit with your team, but you know they're out there. You know, you don't really want to show everything you got for the event.
Yeah.
You know, on Thursday. So, but you know, shout out to them on that. We're gonna see how the next one goes, and maybe I'll do a better job on trying to watch it, or if I don't get to watch it live, go back and watch it before we do a fucking post game. Oopsie.
Yeah, we'll do better.
Anything else you have for 3v3? Not really.
No, man. I like more power to them for trying something different and trying to expand everything. But for me personally, I did not care for it.
I will say this before we move on into Friday. I don't have a whole lot to talk about for Friday. I just have some scores that stuck out to me. I do like, if they're going to toy with the idea of changing some things around as a league, I do like the going to 3-man format more than I like the idea of them adding all the buzzers and these extra points and shit like that.
Yeah.
When you get into that, you overcomplicate an already complicated game to watch. If you want to do something like that, go back to what B Short had going on with Ultimate Shootout or whatever. You know, 1v1, it's very easy to follow. There's 3 buzzers across the center line or whatever. You know, so
you know what that shit reminds me of? Do you remember the show Gladiators?
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of Gladiators, where they have to run through the obstacle course.
Yeah.
With the fucking buzzers.
I liked Ultimate Shootout. You know, I loved the Hormesis 1v1, which let me say this: we had a couple of 1v1s this event. What do you think? I know they wouldn't do this because of logistics, but don't you think it'd be cool if it went through overtime to one-on-ones, that they had like a Hormesis dual layout set up somewhere where
right beside the
right
field.
beside a pro field where you could really watch them hash it out. I think that'd be fucking dope. I love the Hormesis 1v1 setup.
That'd be awesome.
That'd
And,
be
you know,
sweet.
Dynasty could the Dynasty Champions Club, whatever, could hone into that too, because you know how you have the VIP booth for the Dynasty
Yeah.
Champions Club. It
Yeah.
could be tied into the one
That
v one
would
court.
be sweet. But like I said, logistically with Ghost Sports would have to have another booth or whatever. I get it. I
Well,
get it.
maybe they would have to do some adjusting and everything,
Yeah.
but yeah.
That's just an idea I had. Anyways, moving into Friday. So Friday, you got some teams that played the 3-man format. They're hot and ready. HOTTOGO. They're hot to go. Let's get in on this. Don't ask me how I know that because my son loves that fucking song. Yeah, it's a dumb song.
Yeah.
It's a dumb song. It came on. My wife unplugged her phone one day and it went from Apple CarPlay to like just general FM radio. And that song was playing and he fucking fell in love with it. So now at least once a day we have to play it. So shout out to
Power to you.
Hot to Go. But anyways, I'll tell you one of the first things I noticed, and I have this written down in asterisks, is one thing we forgot to mention on the last episode, I feel very sure we forgot to mention, was the community lost a player and a member of the paintball family right before the event. We lost Jerry Caro from Ironman. Rest in peace to him, and our wishes are with his family and close friends, and he's obviously impacted a lot of people's lives. If you see the testimonials on social medias, and just what I wanted to say though is looking at the event, Iron Man had his jersey up all day, and DMG had all their numbers were 4 on their jerseys. They were paying tribute to Jerry, and I just wanted to make that comment before we went any further forward. That's not something that needs to be glossed over. Rest in peace to Jerry. What a hell of a player. I don't know the details. I have a basic understanding of what I think happened, and just gathering it through social media posts, and that's really all I'm gonna elaborate on that. But
I will say this because and this isn't something I'm trying to like warn up on or anything of that nature, because some people take this shit the wrong way. But being in the military, you deal with suicide left and right. There was a soldier that was with me in Arizona. I'm not going to say his name. That ended up taking his life when he came back. Not even a week after he was back. That was this year. I will come out and say that I would much rather stay up all night talking to you on the phone than coming to your funeral and talking to your loved ones and then trying to like uplift them in a time of mourning. There's hotlines for that. You always have friends and family nearby. You can always hit us up on our social media. You know what I mean? If it's that serious and you're a personal friend, man, call me. Even if you're just like having any types of doubts, don't be scared to call anybody for that. Don't ever feel like you're by yourself, because you're not.
yeah,
It's never the answer.
for us,
It's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. I
Yeah.
promise.
for us, you don't even have to be part of the paintball community. If this finds you somehow or another, and you just need a listening ear, either hit the socials. Daniel and I both have access to the socials, or if you like me and can't stand Daniel, which most people
Like most
are like
people.
that. Just feel free to DM me on Instagram or Facebook. Probably easier to get me on Instagram, and even if I have to give you my phone number, we'll call. Just you need somebody to talk to, hit me up, hit Daniel up. Either we can we can try to talk to you about what you got going on, or if you want to just kind of disconnect from that and talk paintball or whatever, we'll be more than glad to offer that listening ear and companionship. But yes, you're never alone as much as you might think. So, I didn't mean to steer us in that direction, but I wanted to touch on that before I forgot about it.
Sometimes it needs to be said.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on that before I forgot about it. But so back to the event. Just fucking change gears and get all cheery. And now we're at Friday. But I do have some stuff written down here for Friday. So like I said, I didn't get to watch a whole lot Friday. I listened a little bit. So I did go back and watch a couple of things on Go Sports today. I didn't watch all the way through because it's 3 days worth of fucking tournament that I was trying to get through today. But anyways, the first thing coming right off the bat, I have written down the Ironman beat X Factor 4-3. So I wrote that down because X Factor is fresh off of the 3-man format win. Oh, excuse me. They have to be riding some kind of high in a way. Which I know they're professionals. They're all right. We got that one. Let's go to the next one. So on and so forth. But I just wrote that down. Ironman beat X Factor mainly because, like I said, X Factor is on the win. Another one I have written down here is NYX versus AC Diesel 3-2. NYX. I mean, it's not like they shut them out, but still, Diesel getting shut out by New York Extreme.
That's wild.
I did not expect
Diesel
to see.
didn't win a single match.
Yeah, that is not like them. They didn't win anyone.
No.
Ooh.
Here, I'll read you their scores
Hit
from
me.
the prelims.
Hit me.
Do you really want me to? No. All right. So 2-3, 1-6, 1-5, 2-5. Legion put them in the dirt with 1-6. 2-3 was NYX. 1-5 was Tauntaun FSU. 2-5 was Aftershock. Yeah, they didn't do too hot.
That
put them
that money isn't doing too hot.
Oof. Rankings, all divisions, Pro X Ball, AC Diesel, 20th.
Dude, what if they get relegated? What if Mark Johnson is paying Mouse $500 million a month and they get relegated? You think he's going to pay him that much money in semi-pro? Mouse is gonna be like, yo, I should have stayed on Impact. Oh man.
Yeah.
I don't hate Diesel. I did for a while, for no reason. I really, mainly because they wear Empire EVS, and those are the worst masks on the field. But the worst looking mask. But anyways.
Wait. Season rankings. Here we go.
Yeah, I doubt they're 20th.
14th.
Yeah, I'm about to say they're not.
14th.
There's no way they're below leverage.
No.
Oh man.
The bottom three is Elite, Extreme, and Leverage.
Yeah.
No, the PB League's website had a hiccup.
Or did Daniel have a hiccup?
No, I'm gonna blame it on the technology.
Those fuckers. Moving on, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and read every score from the event. These are just things that I keyed up on. Impact versus Ironman, 1-0 to Impact. What a fucking low-scoring game. That's a Sunday score.
I saw that, and I saw a little bit of that match, and I saw how the timer was just dying out. That literally made me just put my phone down.
Yeah.
Because I had, like, it was not exciting. I get it. Sometimes that's how the game's played. But, bro, come on, dude. That is not good.
Well,
not good to watch.
That just kind of solidifies their point for what we were talking about earlier. and the whole pod limit keeps coming back up and this and that. So a 1-0 game is, you can look at it from two ways. You can look at it as longtime fans strategically. How do these guys, shut this field down or lock this field down so tight that nobody's making an advance in 15 minutes? Or you can look at it from a new person's perspective and go, why is this game so boring? Which, we thought that as well. Don't get me wrong. We love run throughs. We love people getting bunkered and overshot and shit. That's you don't watch UFC fights for 20 minutes of just holding each other on the floor, even though that's sometimes what happens. But yeah, I just 1-0 on Friday. That is a short match. So
Yeah, that's.
I mean, not a short match. That's a
It
boring.
wasn't a short match. It was a short,
boring match.
low score,
low scoring match
the entire time.
Yeah. And then one more thing to key up on for Friday is Leverage gets their first pro win over Uprising, 3-1. So good for
Which
Leverage.
is wild to me. Yeah, props to Leverage for finally getting their first pro win in for a match, not an event. Just to make it clear, they won one match.
Yep.
Seattle Uprising, their only victory was against Infamous. I was like, "Fuck, man." We'll get into that here
Now that you've highlighted that, we're gonna get dropped. So go ahead and just move those cleats and pull that banner down. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'll talk about those later. But
Which Uprising's no pushover. I just don't think they had a great event. Uprising's been doing fairly well.
well, they clearly didn't have it. They only won one match the entire prelim bracket. They only won one, and it was against Infamous.
They just didn't have a great event.
Yeah. So let's move into the part which says which part of the layout won more games. I'm gonna say the
You said the what?
center 50.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Which, I mean,
'Cause
the entire fucking field was aimed towards 50 play. Everything was just kind of like fucking funneled into the 50. You know what I mean?
You had a lot of people walking down.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
Crosswalk shots and stuff, but I think
What do I have here?
It was the center 50. Aha! That did it more.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Not really too much to open up there, so we can kind of go to the next question, which is who dominated on the layout, and then who struggled. For me, pre-game, I predicted. I said, "Who do you think will dominate on the layout?" I put either Russian as my primary, and then Fit was my secondary, and then the struggle was NYX and Energy Elite, and that's when I honestly forgot about Leverage.
Yeah.
But I was pretty much right on both of those because Russian Legion ended up winning the event, and then Fit went undefeated on it. They just couldn't make it into Sunday and finish that shit. Well, they made it into Sunday. They just couldn't perform the winning formula. On Sunday.
I did not do well on that. I had fucking Fit and Damage dominating, and Leverage struggling. So Leverage is gonna struggle. That was kind of a cop out answer for me. So I mean, obviously, AC Diesel was the struggle. You know, that was probably the most struggling team. But yeah, Damage didn't make Sunday. I didn't have that on my card for this event. I thought Damage was going to make a deep Sunday run. You know, with Marcelo coming on, you know, now he's kind of got a chip on his shoulder about some stuff, I feel like, and, you know, recent events and shit with people calling him out and all that. And, you know, Damage is a powerhouse anyways, even before Marcelo comes on. Edwards Brothers, Swaggy, you know, Chad Bugier, all those guys, you know, just fucking Damage. Is Skinny K at the helm. You know, Joey Blutz, no pushover either. So I could sit here and name the whole roster. But I'm not.
They got 11th at this event.
Yeah, not great, but you know, there's always more work to be done. And
who's your top 5 picks to win the event? Who you have written down for your?
It was not good. I had one.
Did you put the in order, or you just named?
No. But I had PB Fit, Damage, Dynasty, Arsenal, and Tauntauns. So Tauntauns were going to be my one. Which I mean, they did great. Of course, they got second, but
Yeah.
if they would have won, I would have been like, yeah, I knew it. I knew I had it written down.
I
Insubordinate.
had Dynasty, Infamous, Fit, Damage, and X Factor. And the top 5 for this event was, and this is going from 1st to 5th, was Red Legion, Tauntauns, Heat, X Factor, and Fit.
How about Heat making a deep Sunday run this event?
Yeah, dude.
You know, I hated their jerseys.
I was
though.
actually,
I'm just being real. I hate those jerseys.
yeah, wasn't that like a throwback to like a vintage jersey they had?
I don't
or
care
some
what
shit?
it was. I hated it.
They went 3-2, 1-2, 2-1, and 4-0. Who did they 4-0? Oh, Infamous. God damn it. Son of a bitch.
We're
They
now
lost
sponsored
to,
by HK Army.
Fit. They lost to Fit. Okay, yeah. Damn, 3-2. Leverage put 2 points on the board against fucking Heat. Not bad, and kept it the 3-2 game.
Yeah.
2-1 was against Uprising.
Heat looked really good.
Low scoring games though.
It's fucking jerseys, man. I just can't. They need to bring the old red pinstripe ones back from like 2012.
Oh Lord.
Love those jerseys. But let me go back here. I don't have anything written down for Saturday. When I went through like the scores and shit for Saturday, I didn't see anything that really, other than, not the X Factor, Damage getting kicked out, not even making a Sunday run. I was like, oh, I keyed up on that. But Saturday across the board seemed kind of average for everything. If I missed something, then yeah. If I missed something, then, so sorry, too bad, so sad, but I'm only one man here trying to do this shit at fucking 10 o'clock at night, so almost 11 o'clock at night. Give me a break, okay? Give me a fucking break.
Let's see. One of the question was, did your team win the event?
Hell
Oh,
no.
Nope.
Hell no. I had a favorite. I had Damage as my favorite. Nah, they didn't even get to Sunday, fucking scrubs. I need y'all to do better. They're all going to come to my house and beat my ass. You said your room was at the back of the hallway?
I told you, man. Fucking the Edwards brothers about to come up there and gangbang you.
Yeah, I'll be like, yo, I shoot Lux too. They're like, you don't even play no more. I'm like, yeah, you got me.
The Lux though.
Yeah, you got me.
Yo, take my frames. Take my frames. Put them in your HK bottom.
Yeah. No, don't take my frames. Fuck you. No, I'm just playing.
So we already read the top 5 teams in the event, and that was Legion, Tauntauns, Heat, X Factor, and Fit. So who seemed to struggle the most? Again, we've already stated that it was Leverage. They're
No,
still
Diesel.
Well, yeah, let's take it back. Let's say Diesel the most.
I'm gonna
because
say
Leverage-
Diesel the most.
At least Leverage won a match. Diesel did not win a match.
Exactly. So I'm not
I
gonna
will-
sit here
I
and
will-
beat up on Leverage every time we get on here. Now, fuck Diesel. They suck this event.
Fuck you, Alec.
Yeah. No, they fucking suck this event.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and read off the teams real quick that didn't win a single fucking match in the prelims. It was Diesel, and Diesel. No, I'm just kidding. It was Aftermath. They didn't win a single one. They went 1-2, 1-2, 0-4. You guys know Owen? 2-4. And then Diesel went 2-3, 1-6, 1-5, and 2-5. And then Energy Elite went 1-3, 1-2, 1-4, and 0-4 again. Get it? That's an inside joke for me and PJ if anybody knows. Yeah.
Hey, Papa.
Damn, dude.
Him's good boy. Yeah. I wish he wouldn't freak out when I picked him up because I'd put him on camera.
Look, he'd be all right. Looking at these scores, man, I'm gonna change mine from Diesel to Energy Elite because Energy Elite didn't even score more than 1 point in each match.
I'm still going to say
One-
Diesel because fuck them. They're supposed to be like top 5.
Yeah, supposed to be on paper, right? With all these like paid rock
Yeah.
stars and everything.
No,
but
I'm not hating on Diesel, but I will say, Energy kind of in a leverage situation. I kind of expect them to struggle. As shit, that sounds terrible when I say it out loud, but I did not anticipate on them doing well. My argument for Diesel is that, oh man,
Okay. I changed my answer yet again.
bitch, you can't do this 3 or 4 fucking times.
Nope.
You need to
It's America. I do what I want.
pick a goddamn fucking team.
Well, I just looked at the roster, and
For-
it's for energy because they had a bomb go off. In their
Yeah,
roster,
yeah.
essentially.
Damien
So-
was gone. That's your buddy.
Yeah. Pro, semi-pro, pro, D2, D2, pro, D2.
Yeah. So
Yep.
yeah, I'm not
Damn.
mad at him. But that's like I said, before I was so rudely interrupted by you changing your pick for the 15th time. We're gonna have 20 minutes on. We're gonna be in episode 95, and you're still gonna be changing your fucking answer. But regardless, look, I got heartburn, getting fucking upset. I'm probably about to have a heart attack. That's what's about to happen. Dude,
You goddamn answer.
dude, what if I died right here on episode 94 right now? That'd be crazy, wouldn't it? Would you come to my house and upload it?
I'd be like,
I'll be in this bitch dead as fuck. But anyways, I hate it here. I fucking hate it. I quit. We're not even gonna make it to 100. But no, I did not anticipate on Energy making a deep run. I'm just judging off of. I'm not even judging off of Diesel's performance this year. I'm judging off of their World Cup performance because they were on a mad lad run, but they let their emotions get the best of them at Cup. You know what I mean? And Cup showed that they have the potential to be the competitive team that everybody knows it can be. So for them to come to this event and just get shit on, then yes, I feel like they were the most struggling team that was there.
yeah, I'm gonna have to stay with that one
That's just my opinion.
because I completely forgot about the roster shakeup on Energy Elite
Yeah.
because they got some not so seasoned people. Props to them from sticking through it and fighting it
Oh
out.
yeah, that's my
And then what team that for the small pieces of footage that you got to watch in the coverage of the event, what team to you stood out the most?
I will say this, since I didn't get to watch most of the event, obviously the team stood out the most is Legion. They won the event. But I will say this, and I'll say this as a congratulations. Here's a round of applause to the Sea Dogs. Sea Dogs made Sunday. Where'd you go? There you go. We need to get the little box where you just boom. And,
I got that. I got that on the way.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say anything. I
Nice.
got that on the way.
But,
I'm beefing up. I'm
fucking
beefing up the,
hotkeys for the soundboard.
Yeah.
But yes, Sea Dogs on paper have my attention for making Sunday. Damage didn't even make Sunday. That's huge. Marcelo might be listening, yo, you ain't got to say it anymore. You said it 6 times, or we didn't make it. We got it. We understand. But yeah, congratulations to the Sea Dogs for making Sunday. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but they have not made a Sunday yet, right? Until Ohio?
As far as I'm tracking, yeah.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware. So shout out to them. Now, they did not have a great Sunday. Aftershock knocked them out 3-0. But hey, they got there. To me, for them, that's a win. Everybody wants to win the event. I understand that, but I think they should really take that
Milestones, man.
I think they should take that success of making Sunday, and roll with it. That's just keep that momentum as a team. Use that as a stepping stone to build your, this. I use this word a million times on this podcast. Build that cohesion within your team. Hey, we made Sunday. All right, now let's see if we can make quarterfinals. Let's see if we can make semifinals. Just like Mike Bianca said when they started with the Hurricanes, they made small goals. So now that you can make Sunday, just next step, and then once you get to all those steps, the final thing is to win the event. Do they have what it takes? I don't know. I'm not going to say no. anybody can win these events if the momentum swings in their favor. But hey, shout out to you guys.
Yep.
What about you? Who stood out to you?
Honestly, man, the Tauntauns.
What he said. Yeah,
Is this him?
yeah. Tauntauns, they're so close. They are so close.
Well, they kept the drive going, and they kept like their composure. Fucking me, you, and Mark were pointing out that fucking Axel was slamming goddamn Coca-Colas and
Dude,
shit.
I wished I would have paid attention. I wish I would have paid attention to the PTG Discord because they had him on, and that was going to be one of my guest questions. Like, yo, why in the finals did you have 3 Coke cans on the table and you were slamming Cokes in the finals?
And not water or Gatorade.
Yeah. Now I listened to the episode and it was actually a great episode. If you haven't, go check that out. PTG, play the game. It's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, all that good stuff. Obviously, if you're here, there's no way you haven't heard of them. But yeah, go check out their most recent episode with Axel. But yes, I wanted to fucking ask that because that was crazy. This dude is a fucking French. He is a French powerhouse of just raw energy, and he's slamming Coca-Colas. Sacre bleu! Oh man!
Wow.
Yeah, what you looking at back there? You got a mouse going across your wall or something?
No, something fell behind me. So I'm kind of hoping that
The whole fucking wall falls down on top of it.
No, I bet it was a fuck. So Landon's got this goddamn Paw Patrol bath toy that like suction cups to the fucking wall, and like in the middle of the shut the fuck up, you nasty motherfucker. You are a sick son of a bitch.
Serious?
It's a racetrack, you fucking cocksucker. Please God, you need to edit that out.
I'm leaving it in. There's no fucking way I'm cutting it.
You a sick-headed motherfucker.
There's no fucking way I'm cutting it.
You better guard your fucking nuts the next time Landon sees you, because I'm gonna teach him to kick you square in the fucking nuts, just like Cartman. Anyway, it falls off the fucking wall from time to time. You sick bitch.
I bet it does. Oh, I got tears in my eyes. Oh my god. Oh shit.
That's me trying to fucking hit your stupid ass.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Come on.
Jacob has a boat that does that. It clings to the side of the tub, and sometimes it falls as well. Oh, oh
Sick
my
motherfucker.
god, that is fucking terrible. Blame the kid for your fucking nasty habits. Oh man.
You know, it vibrates from time to time.
Jesus Christ. All right. Also, steer this bitch back to the fucking paintball over here. Wait, look, we're gonna put it in park there. Click, click. Another interesting team that made it to Sunday was Iron Man. Also, congratulations to them for making Sunday. They matched up against X Factor and got knocked out with X Factor with a 2-point lead, so 4-2. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, their margins were very good.
Yeah, Iron Man playing with a little bit more grit. I feel like, for their boy Jerry this event.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep that up, guys. I'd love to see, of course, a W, but just even a deep Sunday run, like get in the finals. Like just pull a Tauntauns, just even if you take a second. A second sucks, but man, let's keep that momentum going. I tell you what did suck. I did not want to see this. I would have wanted to see this last year, but Heat and Dynasty match up, and Heat knocks them out 3-1. I was rooting for Dynasty on that one, and they hurt my feelings.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, damn, Alex, what are you
Come
doing?
on, Joe B.
Yeah, Joe B. What the fuck, man? Have you seen Joe's flex?
Yeah,
That bitch is dope.
you should buy it from him.
I like that. He might not sell it to me.
Probably not.
Probably not.
If my flex looked that good, I wouldn't sell it to your ass either.
Oh no, I like that. I have to talk to Joe about that. Joe Barrett, let me know if you want to sell that flex. I might be interested. I'll put it. You can't see it because my fucking camera's awful, but I'll put it on one of these shelves somewhere.
I think he's still mad at you from the last time he messaged us, because ever since then he hasn't really interacted with us.
What did I say when the last time you messaged us?
You were talking crap about his cat. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I would never talk bad about the Void.
No, something about the call to sit or some shit like that.
Oh no, we're good. We're good about that. Yeah, I honestly haven't reached out that much to him either. Oh, Joe, I need to talk to Joe. Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan.
The deer. Dude, you have no idea how long it took me to get that sticker to stick with Joe Rogan just like this, holding the microphone.
Oh
with the
my
interview.
gosh, it was hilarious.
I kind of feel like this question was just taking up space on the paper, but I'm not really going to dive into it. I honestly want to skip it. It was what new pro team played the best. It's like mid-season now. Like it's
The answer would be Sea Dogs.
well, yeah, because they push into Sunday, I guess. But
Yeah.
I don't know, but then I kind of that would go hand in hand to me, like what team stood out the most. You know what I mean? But I guess maybe that should be like a season opener. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, I think we'll change
maybe
that.
redact that.
Yeah, we'll reconvene in 2026. The last question is, what player stood out the most for you?
Fedorov.
Now, damn
Yep.
it, I was gonna say that
K
too.
Fed 88 K Fed. Yeah. I had to think
He
about that for a
definitely
split
fucking
second.
clocked in.
Dude, how about the shot? And everybody talked about this, and we even talked about it on our group chat. The shot where they're in the finals and they're just fucking overheated, and you could tell he's gassed. Dude's in a beanie and shit. You could tell he's gassed. The heat's
A
getting
Carnhart beanie.
yeah, the heat's getting everybody. This dude grabs a bag of ice and like starts dumping ice down his back and rests it on his shoulder and the back of his neck, and then he's like, "Fuck it, I'm good to go. Let's go," and goes out there and just I mean, damn, K-Fed.
Still puts in work. Like, well,
dude,
that
dude
that
is a seasoned
proves-
veteran.
Yeah, it's like that. I was gonna say the exact same shit. That proves his veteran status, like how long he's been doing this and how much he puts into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's definitely conditioning at its best. Like you can be pretty fucking gassed, but if you can just be like, because the human body can take a lot than what a lot of people realize, and to go through that and you just get like a nice little cool down at that point, you're just like, whew, all right, let's fucking go, and then you just go into the fucking net and just put in work like that.
Yeah.
That proves to character big time, in my opinion, because you see that shit in the fucking military. Like you see like this big old like lunkhead that lives in the fucking gym, and he's doing like some like battle drills and shit. He's gassed. He's like, okay, I'm done. But then you see this little fucking chicken little dude who just took a swig of water, like Michael's secret stuff from Space Jam, and
Yeah.
then rucks another fucking 24 miles. You know what I
Lay
mean?
down.
Like it's wild.
Lay down. Good boy. Yeah. Yeah, K-Fed, I think, was the most standout. One big thing to note here is we all know who went to the finals. Well, the biggest thing to note is who didn't go to the finals. X Factor puts Fit out 2-1.
All that.
PB Fit not making the finals this go round. I don't know where the disconnect was. The saying, you can't win them all. I mean, maybe you can, but the question has been since World Cup, who's going to beat Fit? Who's going to keep Fit out? And I think everybody thought that it was going to be like who's going to knock Fit out of a finals match. I think there are a lot of people projecting that Fit was going to be in every finals for the rest of the year. And they very well had the potential to be, but X Factor knocks them down. They win by one and they move on. And
And what other team than a homegrown Texas team too? You know what I
Texas
mean?
versus Texas slaughter.
Yep.
Speaking of Texas,
Yeah.
I got a little Texas Chainsaw Massacre Leatherface. You see that right there?
Oh
Hell
God.
yeah, that's my dog right there, old Leather Billy. But yeah, man.
I can't. Every time I picture Leatherface now, I think of Dead by Daylight and his power.
I think of fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, where he's dancing at the door and he's like shaking his ass and his fucking chainsaw at the same time. I have to send you a clip of that 'cause that shit's hilarious. But yeah, let's just talk about the finals real quick. Like, I don't have a whole lot of details on the finals, but how do we get fucking 2 European teams in the finals? Come on, USA,
That's also
we got to do better.
that's also wild to me, man.
Yeah.
Like very good for the Tauntauns, but
They should have had to pay tariffs to be in the finals.
oh,
Oh man.
I almost went into my Trump impression again.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna make us spend a lot of money.
I saw Mark Johnson. He was crying like a dog. I said, Mark Johnson, don't cry. You'll make it to the finals one day.
Oh my god. He is gonna fucking lay you out at Cup, dude.
Probably.
He's
man.
gonna
There's
hit.
probably a lot
He's
of-
gonna hit me thinking it's you. Are you Daniel? No. God damn, dude.
Oh my God. It was a stepping stone for the Tauntauns again to be back into the finals and everything.
Second finals
And-
appearance this year.
Yeah, and I think that
They're right
was
there.
was that not the first time that there was no American-based team in the finals match?
I don't have that statistic.
I think that is. I think that's legit. I think this was the first time that it hasn't been. Well, no, maybe not, because maybe there's been like Impact versus Legion in the finals, maybe.
Yeah, probably.
And they're Canadian, eh?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So,
Gotta go up there and get the maple leaves off the trees to make the syrup.
I'm not your buddy, guy.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy. Anyway,
Speaking of Legion versus Impact, they matched up in the final. I mean, they matched up in Sunday and had an 8-4 game. It's a lot of points.
yeah, that's a lot of pain.
That's how Legion plays paintball. They run your ass into the fucking ground. They're like a shark. Like they drag you they or alligator. They get you into shallow water and then they grab you and drag you fucking to deep water and then you're in their territory then. Yeah.
You know what's wild though? Legion went 4-3, 6-1, 6-0, and then 3-4. Their only loss in the prelims was handed to them by the Tauntauns.
Oh man.
Yeah.
We did it before. We can do it again. that was the most terrible French impersonation I've ever heard. In my
Oh
life.
my God! Fucking Axel Garden comes in. I'm tired.
Oh my god. Well,
Having
having
the Fedorov with a heavy dip. Despacing yourself. Well, then have a Coke.
oh my god.
I'm not going to go into that reference. I just hope to God that you know what, if you're listening after this has come out and you can message one of us on the fucking Center 50 socials, I will mail you a sticker pack.
How about this? How about this? The first person that gives me the reference on either Facebook Messenger or Instagram Messenger, if you tell me what that reference is, I'll give you a Steam key to Infinite Tournament Paintball. How about that?
Perfect. There you go. Which means it's free.
Free for you. I'll give you a Steam key for it. And then Daniel, we have to just mark that one out so we don't try to reuse it again.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, yeah, I don't, I don't have a whole lot of details about the finals. What was the final score? 3-2? I don't remember. No,
It was 5-3.
5-3. So yeah,
Tauntauns were bringing it back. It looked like their the wind was taken out of their sail, but honestly, Fedorov brought it back.
yeah,
If I recall right, I think Axel on some points had some survivability issues, but I think one of the things that they were at fault for was Fedorov would push up, and Mark even put this in our chat. nobody would follow Fedorov up
Mm-hmm.
the field when it mattered,
Yeah.
and he was trying to push the issue, and nobody was following. There was like three. I think it was like 3-on-2 or something like that.
There were some points to where he
Excuse me.
started pushing, and they were getting like low on time, but he would start pushing, and the scenario should have played out to where he could have traded, and somebody or a person or two behind him could have like capitalized on the chaos.
Yep.
But what was happening was he was going up by himself, getting killed, and Legion was like, that was dumb. You know, just shoot him out, and like, all right, what other two guys are in the corners? Just not specifically. I'm just kind of spitballing that
Yep.
bullshit. But also this whole event, Sergey not with Legion, was injury, I think.
Honestly, didn't even notice that,
Yeah,
man.
Sergey not with now. Fucking Smotrov played lights out. Kirill fucking going up the gut. He was like a kill count leader. I believe I saw on Instagram. Kirill is, you know, he's been doing this shit a long time. What, 20 years, 20 something years? Kirill's been playing pro.
Yeah,
And he's
it's
part of
20
the
years now because for
he's part
for
of the
sure
original
because he was
Legion.
in the. Well, yeah, because he was he's like the Brian Greenspan of Legion because
Yeah.
he was there from the get go, and then he was interviewed by Durder for natural selection when the Trauma versus Legion
Yeah.
section was going on.
Yeah, Krill's a great guy. He had a great episode on Paintball Passport. So, speaking of Joe Barrett, yeah, go check that episode out. It was a little while ago. Here you go, right here. Go look for this icon on like Spot. I'm pretty sure it's Spotify only right now, but yeah, he had an amazing episode on that show. Great story, Paintball Passport. I love that show. Anyways, yeah, like I said, I was rooting for Tuntons at that point. And when you listen to, I'm just name dropping all these podcasts tonight, but you go listen to that episode I was telling you about with Axel on Play the Game, and just to hear the passion that he carries on his shoulders for this sport, and it's just the standard that he holds himself to. It's hard not to root for the purple beanie or blue beanie, whatever color it is. I guess J Rabs would be purple, but like I'm rooting for Tauntauns to take a win this year. They're not one of my top favorite teams by no means, and for no reason, but they have the
Excuse me.
potential. They have the potential. They've shown it. They've had 2 finals appearances this year. They're at the tip, and they just need that little push to cross that line. And I hope they get it. Even at the cost of one of our favorite teams. Maybe. Unfortunately, everybody can't win.
Yep.
So
Everybody's got their hand in the cookie jar, but not everybody's gonna pull out a cookie.
yeah, a little anticlimactic finals discussion, but like I said, it was you know Legion. I forgot. I will say this. I forgot they were doing the two halves, and when time ran out, I was like, man, fuck. Because
Yeah, I'm not used to that.
Legion would have won. I was like, oh my god, this sucks. Damn.
Yeah,
And
I looked at my phone and I saw like the time ran out. And I looked at the score. I was like, "Fuck, that was right." And then I heard Manny go like, "All right, now Tauntauns can you bring it back in the second half." I was like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah. Nobody was celebrating
Yeah.
or nothing, and I was like, "Damn, they're just that they were that confident they were going to win. There's no celebration or anything." And then I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's two. What is it? 2 10-minute halves?"
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like that. I do like that. I think that's a good format for the finals.
That's definitely a keeper.
Yeah. So shout out to them networks. But yeah. So I mean, really, that's the Midwest Open. All in all, I think it was a great event. I don't really have anything negative to say. Like there wasn't anything crazy, really. That like there was one thing in the divisionals, but I'm not going to really speak on that because I don't have any.
Oh yeah.
I don't have any info on what who.
The fisticuffs.
Yeah, I don't have any info on who, what, why, or where. But whatever. Shit gets crazy when you're not by the premier field. But yeah, Midwest Open 2025. I enjoyed a little bit I did watch, and now we're going to be in a little bit of a break hiatus in between events. So we have some guest episodes coming up. Me and Daniel have been talking about hitting another ranking episode. We got some topics and shit. So we'll have some content for you, and I'm kind of letting Daniel have the YouTube as his baby. So what you got cooking up over there, D? What's going on with that?
So I had a setup in my mind adjacent to my podcast setup. I basically would flip the camera around and use the other corner of the man cave for the product reviews. So I'm just not sitting here like this, holding the product, blah blah blah
Yeah.
blah blah. Trying to make it look, more structured and professional, like we always talk about. Um, but the setup that I tried, like everything that I did research on, it just didn't work. The audio quality wasn't that great, so I ordered some new microphones. So they're in the mail, which is great because we can even use these microphones because they clip on the shirt, and we can kind of clip them into our phones because it's like a USB-C. So if we go to Cup, if we want to interview somebody, we can
Yeah.
record it on the phones, whatever, for content or whatever we want to do. But I did make a post today on the Instagram about a small hiccup for the YouTube and all this other stuff. I'm probably gonna invest in like my own camera, honestly,
Yeah.
and start taking some pictures. Like if I see somebody wearing some Pro DNA gear, I'll take a picture or like try to see if I can like interview them, see what they get their honest opinion on it and stuff like that. Maybe throw some comedy stuff on there. Like I don't want it to just be product reviews, I want our videos to go up, some reels to go up. Do have some product reviews, have some like honest opinions, maybe some like YouTube exclusive interviews, whatever.
Yeah.
Like if I'm like live interviews or something, just it's a work in progress. It's just slow because I'm also having to prioritize this move from the United States to South Korea, and I'm gonna be in South Korea for like 2 years. So
Yeah, and we also even before that we don't go to every event, so it's hard to
yeah,
and I don't go to the field every weekend, so it's hard to get consistent content for the YouTube. Like some people upload weekly. We would have to be something like monthly for consistency. The only consistency we have right now is we're doing video format for the podcast. So,
yeah,
and I'm
it'll get
I'm
there.
handling that for now, and all the extra shit's coming from you, Daniel. I do have some ideas for like kind of like sketches. I think would be hilarious.
I have mine. I want to sip in
Yeah,
mine.
it's just I'm not going to go into detail, but is yours like the headband idea? Remember that one?
Oh, the Sandana.
Yeah, you remember that one?
Yeah,
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 we'll keep that in mind. But yeah, I have some ideas of shit that would be funny, but it's just a matter of us getting to the field together and doing that. My life has fucking turned 180 degrees over the last 3 months, and for the better. Let me just not say that. Like everything's good here. You know what I mean? So, and my
you're just
life.
adjusting.
I'm very much adjusting. My schedule is completely different. My home life is different. Everything's better and it's working out better than I anticipated, and I'm grateful for that. But I am having to take a little bit of a hit on things that I like to do. Like go play paintball and stay up at night and fucking bullshit with you and TC on the PlayStation, here and there, or on the computer and shit like that. So a little bit of sacrifice for now until I get into more of a routine, till the baby gets a little bit older, and you know, we'll get back there. And unfortunately, with you going to where you're going in December, that's probably about the time things are going to start fucking leveling out here. So
Good old great timing there.
yeah. So, but I'm not going to drag this episode on any further. Do you have anything you want to add before we get out of here?
Absolutely, do my shameless plug.
Shameless plug. Yeah,
If
never forget the
oh
sponsors.
yeah, but I do want to say, big time, shout out to Pro DNA for making an actual cleat strictly for paintball.
Yeah.
Because I
It's a
was in
great
Dick's
cleat.
Sporting. I was in Dick's Sporting Goods today, and I go straight to the fishing gear now.
Yeah.
And I walked by the cleats, and I used to dread going to the Oh my God, so much brighter. There we go.
Yeah, I know.
I
I
used
kind of,
yeah.
I kind of wish I would have got the grays now. I feel like I slept on the grays.
Oh, they're great.
I
But
like
like
those.
I was so impressed with these. The only thing that I will say on this episode right now, because I do have a I'm mixing right now for this, um, is if you're a wide-footed person, I would love to hear how they fit you because I'm not too sure how they would
Here
fit
you
for
go.
a wide person shoe. Nice.
I don't wear a wide anything, but I do have a big foot. Like, I have friends that wear like 12 wide or 13 wide boots. They are a little tough for me. They're also brand new, so they're not broken in by no means. They are a little tough for me to get on, and sitting here with them on, like I'm wearing them right now. Not to play. um, I don't want to say my foot feels a little constricted. I just don't have the room around my foot like I normally like. But I want to before like I haven't. That's why I haven't really said anything about it. I want to play in them and see how they feel because I will tell you this. I remember I bought those Nike cleats. They're back here. I bought those Nike cleats. I fucking hate those things, honestly. Like they don't feel good on my foot. What I did notice, it don't matter how tight I tie those Nike cleats, they're never like tight on my feet. So like sometimes like I feel like the heels, like the shoe sliding off my heel when I'm running or whatever. These
And that's because if
I
you're
can
looking here, they got that Achilles heel support in
yeah,
there just
yeah,
for that.
and I have some Under Armour tennis shoes that have this, and I love that. So
Yeah. I'm very, very, very impressed with these.
putting
Like
them putting
I
them on my foot right now, I'm like 8 out of 10. Putting them on my foot. If they were a touch wider, 10 out of 10. I'll give them that. And when the time comes and we do a review, those are the things that we can touch on. But I have not played in them. You played in them. Just real quick before we get out of here. What was just kind of a 10-second general review. What did you think playing in them?
so my like and everybody's gonna say like, oh, you're just sucking up to your fucking sponsor. No, dude, like my only concern is just for the wide footed guys. But for me, this is an amazing cleat because for the longest time, let's see what I've been here almost 5 years, stationed at Hunter Army Airfield. Um, I had to go buy some new turf shoes, and they were always like form fitting, right?
Yeah.
The New Balance ones that I would buy were form fitting. And then I went to TJ Maxx here in Savannah one day and got some $5 cleats because the toe was starting to come off and
Yeah,
everything.
that's how I got those Nikes from Simpsons. They were like a scuff and sale, like 60% off.
Yeah. So my only curiosity, I've only played in these once. I was blown away by. I didn't feel at once that they were going to come off my feet, and that is a biggest pet peeve of mine because just wearing work boots all my life, and then wearing combat boots after that, that lifestyle change. Uh, I don't really have much movement in my footwear, and I pretty much wanted the same shit in paintball. And I know this is going over to 10 seconds, but I was blown away by them, man. Every selling point that they have is definitely like it's pretty accurate. It molds to your foot. It feels like if you get the right size and you follow their instructions, like if you wear a 10 and a half regular shoe, get the 10.
Yeah,
That's what I do because I wear a 10 and a half army boot, but I got the 10s, and I'm very, very impressed. My only curiosity is to see what they look like after, like, I would like to see like what Zach Patience looks like or something, like someone explosive beating the shit out of the
yeah.
cleats for a whole season, the whole practice. Like, will it make it there? Will the sides blow out? How well will the seams hold up when the paint? Because it seems like the paint formula, it doesn't matter what you do, it always eats away the fucking glue around the sole.
Right.
So we'll see how that pans out. But so far, dude, I'm blown away by. I love them. I'm so glad that I don't have to go to Dick's Sporting Goods and buy fucking overpriced cleats for nothing.
Yeah. So I mean, I can just clip that, and you can make that your review.
Yep.
No. Yeah, there's your first
Review
review
done.
channel. But no, yeah, so things coming up for the YouTube. Shout out to Pro DNA Infamous. Go to infamouspaintball.com. Use code Center50. I'll spell it out for you because I don't have it on the bottom of the screen yet. I'm still figuring out how to do that. But CENTER50 for 10% off of anything on the website except markers. And if you use code PLEASE, you might get 15%. But no, I'm just playing. Don't try that because it don't work. I tried it. But yeah. Anything before we get out of here, my man?
Nothing. You hit the nail on the head for me.
Nail on the head. All right. Well, this has been 94. We will see you in 95 with a guest, unless scheduling don't work out. I'll leave you with this. Do some homework. One of the greatest stashes in all of paintball history. Do you think that's too much of a giveaway?
Yes.
Oh well. We'll see you in 95. Let me know who you think it is.
Later.
Peace.